guys, it's Kara here, and I am back for another episode of Dietitian Talk. And for today's episode, I wanted to talk about preventing the holiday weight gain. So I thought it would be fitting if I sat in front of my Christmas tree and got all kind of bundled up while I did this video. So I hope this video catches you all at a good time. I wanted to purposely get this video out there at a crucial time before Christmas and New Year's and the holidays are present, because it's very, very common for most of us to gain weight this time of year. And maybe for some of you, you're thinking, well, what's the big deal if I gain a few pounds this time of year? You know, these treats aren't always here, the parties aren't always here, just not gonna weigh myself, who cares if I gain a few pounds? It actually is a big deal, because from the research that I've looked at in the National Institute of Health, they've done a lot of research on this, and what they've found is typically the weight that we gain this time of year, and specifically Christmas time, people don't usually end up losing that weight. So although in our minds we tell ourselves, you know, first of the year we jump on that New Year's resolution bandwagon and I'm just gonna lose all the weight I gained. Unfortunately, to be a realist for you guys, it typically doesn't work out that way. So what happens is the weight that we've gained over the holidays sticks around, and year after year after year, those pounds just continue to accumulate. And that's really part of what leads to the adult obesity epidemic. So I do want you to be mindful of that. And with that being said, you guys know I'm an all foods fit approach registered dietitian, so I do believe in treating yourself this time of year and indulging in making all foods fit. With that said, I don't want you guys to get caught up with going overboard and just telling yourselves not to worry, you'll lose it after the new year, because I fear most people won't, and that's what the research supports. So I just wanted to give you a few tips, and hopefully this video, if anything, if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, at least just looking at it for 1 minute, maybe will motivate you, maybe will stop you to at least make some better choices for the day. So one of my first tips is obviously going to be to plan. Planning without fail is number one going to be the one thing that will save you this holiday season. We've only got a couple weeks till Christmas, maybe a little bit less than that now. Plan out and think about what holiday parties you have coming up, whether it be at work, friends, family. Think about those special occasions that you know there's going to be food at and you know you're going to want to indulge. For myself, I know I'm having a holiday party at work for my coworkers, and then I'm also going to have on Christmas Day, I know I want to indulge that day, and I know I want to indulge on the holiday party. So, you know, I'm going to kind of plan out for those 2 days. Those are going to be my days where I am going to kind of relax a little bit and allow myself to indulge a little bit more. So I think that can be helpful just in general, that it doesn't turn into a 2-week eat whatever you want type situation, because I've fallen into that myself. It's the time of year where you go into work every single day and there's treats. People are bringing in their leftover cookie platters, they're bringing in donuts, they're bringing in candy, you name it. There's going to be temptation every single day, especially the holiday season. So plan out the days that you know you're going to veer from your usual and let that be that. And the other days, go to work and say no. Don't put your hand in the candy jar, don't indulge in the break room goodies, and just kind of stay away from it, because you know you've already planned the days you're going to eat on those special occasions. With that being said, with planning, clearly you need to make time to bring food with you, whether it be to work or just to kind of keep your day successful. Making sure you have food on hand is going to help keep you very successful. You know, if you go, I know the days I've gone to work without bringing anything with me, all of a sudden I feel panicked and I'm starving, and the first thing that comes my way, I'm gonna want to eat it because I haven't planned well. So really, really important to make sure you're planning your meals and that you have healthy foods available to you, so that you're not left with that temptation and more likely to eat those types of foods. For the parties that you go to, probably the number one mistake I hear people do is that they know they're going to a party, so they're just not going to eat all day long. I'm just gonna choose to not eat anything because I know I'm going out tonight. I wanna eat, I wanna drink, I wanna enjoy myself. So I'll just starve myself and whatever else. That is the entirely wrong approach, and more oftentimes than not, it backfires. You're gonna tend to overeat, and you're gonna eat probably things you wouldn't have chosen in the first place had you have went into that situation with food in your belly. So what I'm telling you is, know you're going to a party, know you're gonna eat some good foods, that's fine, but make sure you make good choices leading up to it. It's like going to a grocery store hungry. We all say it. Don't do it. Don't go grocery shopping on a hungry stomach, because you're gonna walk out of there $200 later with anything that sounded good to you. So the same situation is gonna occur the holiday season. So don't set yourself up for failure that way. Make sure you're eating good, healthy meals throughout the day as well. My other tip for you too is make sure to hydrate. Most people don't hydrate enough in general. That can be one thing that can help you out when you're at a holiday party. A lot of people just kind of focus when they're at a party on the food. I'm guilty of that too. I'm like always thinking about food. So try to focus on other things, and if you need to have a drink in your hand, limit the alcohol drinks and try to have maybe some club soda or water or diet soda, whatever you need to do to have a beverage in your hand that's not high calories and something that can kind of fill up your stomach without adding in a lot of calories. So be mindful of your water consumption. That's one area that leads people to overeat because they mistake their hunger for thirst. So for those of you that don't already, carry a jug or a water bottle or whatever you feel comfortable with, and make sure you're drinking throughout the day. That again will definitely help you to stay on track and not mistake your hunger for other things. Another thing I like to do is when I'm going to a party or some type of event around the holiday time, I usually sign up, or even if you don't have to sign up, I usually plan to bring my own, not my own food, but I usually offer to bring some type of appetizer with me or some type of dessert with me. And then I know I can bring kind of a healthier Cara-like option. That way if everything else is just too much, or I know I'm not going to be able to control myself, I at least have some good options that I know I can eat and be okay with what I'm consuming. So a lot of times I'll sign up to bring like a veggie tray with some hummus or light dip, or I'll make one of my desserts that you can check out on my channel. I do a lot of lower fat, kind of healthier baked goods, so I might bring something like that, and something that people won't even realize is lower in fat. I don't usually advertise it, I just bring it, and usually people enjoy it. Or I'll bring something like, to the holiday party I'm going to this week, I plan to bring some turkey meatballs. That way I know if everything else is just stuff that I know is gonna be like my gateway to eating shit, I'll just kind of stick with the healthier foods and, eat some of the foods that I brought. So that's one area that might help you, is just, bringing some safe foods for you that will keep you on track. With that being said, it's very individualized what works for people. And I think you have to know what your gateway is. I just mentioned that word, but for me, I'm not the type of person that can just have a little dessert. That doesn't make sense to me. That statement doesn't work in my life. I don't have a little dessert. If Cara eats dessert, oh God, I'm talking about myself in the first person. If I have dessert, I am gonna go wild. I'm gonna have what I want, I'm gonna have it in the amounts I want, and that's just kind of how my brain works, unfortunately. So I know I'm that type of person, so that's why I prefer to have a substitute, a lower fat, kind of healthier dessert alternative that I can consume a little bit more and not bust all my macros. So just kind of know what type of person you are. If you know you can have a little bite of dessert and be good, then have at it. Take a few different desserts and just have a little bite of everything. For myself, I know that doesn't work. I would eat the whole plate of dessert. So just kind of take inventory of what your habits are and what kind of leads you down a bad track, and try to avoid those things and just recognize it ahead of time. So yeah, I think that I'll stop there with the tips. Mostly, I want to tell you guys, just plan, be mindful. I want you to indulge and certainly enjoy the foods that you like this time of year, to make sure to also fill in, the rest of your days with with healthier foods, lean proteins, complex carbs, fruits, veggies, lots of water, and other healthy things to fill you up and still get in good nutrition. That way you can enjoy a few things this time of year, not feel guilty, and not gain a ton of weight from it. So if you're someone that tracks macros like myself, that can be very helpful. Just doing, making all foods fit within your macros is great. If you don't, just try out some of the tips that I've suggested, and I hope that helps you guys out. Don't get discouraged. Temptations are always there 365 days a year, but this time of year is tougher. Please don't use the holidays as an excuse to eat your face off. Trust me, you are gonna be regretting it and spending the next year trying to get those few extra pounds off. So please, I hope this video is helpful. I hope it motivates you. If there's any other questions you have or anything I can offer you for advice to help you stay motivated along with me. It's a hard time of year for me as well. I love food and all kinds of it. So I hope this video is helpful. Please share it with other people, and keep checking back. And I threw some purple onion in there that I had in the fridge just because, I don't know, I love onion and beef. It's like my favorite combo. And then I've got these were just Trader Joe's sweet potato fries. I cooked up 3 ounces, and then I've got a cup of broccoli, and I'm going to add some spray butter